Hey guys, welcome back to another update of my Canadian Dividend Investing Portfolio series. In these videos, I'm just documenting my whole journey as a Canadian dividend investor and all of the stocks that I buy and sell, all of the dividends that I get, and I talk about the basic sector breakdown and all of my holdings and the performance of the whole portfolio and each position sometimes. So in today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in some cash and buy some stocks. I also have to track some dividends that I've received recently. Make sure I add those into my spreadsheet, which, by the way, if you're interested in getting the spreadsheet, there is a link in the description below. So yeah, I think the first thing to do is keep it up to date, because right now I know that I've received 2 dividends. So let's jump into my broker, which is Wealthsimple Trade, which is an awesome broker as well. Links in the description below. You can get free stocks just for signing up with them. And I just wanted to come in here and check out the recent dividends that I got. So the last one I'll show you in a second that I recorded is Fortis, but I got a RioCan and MRU here. So I'm going to have to go ahead and bring those into the Google Sheet. And to do that, I'm going to drop them down in the dividends tab down here, which is just a master list of all dividends I've ever received. And I just manually put these in as I get them. So the first one that we have to add in is RioCan. It's rei.un. And then we also had one from TSE MRU. Okay, cool. So the date for both of those, if you saw on the previous screen, was March 7th, 2022. And RioCan paid $20.40 and MRU paid $4.95. And those were both in Canadian dollars. So when we look back at the summary page now, the cash has been reflected here. It's gone up. Before it was around $10, and now this is actually what is in my portfolio, and you'll see that in a second when we open Wealthsimple. And also down here, the chart has automatically updated. Okay, so now that we have that, I'm just going to roll into Wealthsimple again and deposit money, and then we can get back and talk about the stocks that I want to buy. So all we have to do in Wealthsimple is just come down here and add some cash, and I'm going to add $400 today. So we're going to have 436 available to trade, and hopefully you can see that now when I'm buying stocks that $400 of my own money is what I'm spending, and that extra $36 that I will be spending on stocks came from dividends. So I'm also going to log this in my sheet under my deposits and withdrawals tab, which is a master list again of all of the deposits that I've made. It just helps me keep track of everything. So we're going to put in $400. Today was in Canadian dollars, and it is March 10th, 2022. And now when we look at the summary, everything is up to date. We've got that $435 ready to go, and that's how much I'm going to be spending today, or as close as possible. Now, just quickly before we jump in, let's take a brief look at here at the overall account statistics. We're up almost 13% overall for about $8,500, which is super great. And the annual dividend income right now, before I buy new stocks, is $2,802. And we're going to come back at the end of the video and check this to see how much it increases after I spend around $400 on dividend-paying stocks that are probably going to yield something similar to my average of around 3.5% to 4%. So looking in the portfolio, I've got it sorted right now for the biggest gains and losses in the biggest gains at the top and the biggest losses at the bottom. If at any point you want to pause the video and kind of check out the portfolio, feel free to do that. I'm also going to view it in the percent of holdings to see my biggest positions at the top, and then some of my smaller positions now down towards the bottom, which helps to give me an idea of what's going on. Do I want to be continuously adding to my biggest positions like RioCan, which makes up 8%? Probably, because RioCan is awesome, but I think I'm going to spread it out a little bit more across some other shares. So actually, if we go back to this view, I'm going to be adding to quite a few of these ones that are in the reds today. For sure going to be adding just a couple of Power Corp and EIF as they are down a little bit. I'll be picking one up of Great-West Life, not because they're in the red, but they're just kind of cheap relative to how they've been doing so far, and I wouldn't mind increasing them as they are one of my smallest positions. Also going to be picking up some Aecon for sure. These guys are down quite a lot. They're one of my bigger positions, but that's okay. I'm pretty confident that they will bounce back at some point, and so I'm always happy to add more into this company. As well as Savaria. Savaria is starting a bit of a decline, and I'm just going to slowly ride the price down as it drops and just kind of see where that goes. And the other one that I wanted to pick up is up here, is ATD. So these guys are also in the green for me, but we're going to take a look at the charts here in a second and see why I'm picking up this one. We can actually look at the spark line specifically for ATD, and I think we're going to sort this to be a little bit closer to see. So in the last year, you saw in the all-time there that they're always increasing quite a lot, and in the last year, they're really bouncing up and down a lot. And every time they hit one of these lows is where I'm buying. And then if the general trend is going up, but I'm always hitting kind of below on my prices. I guess we're here. I wish I bought like yesterday probably, but that's where I like buying this stock. And I think the quickest way to look through all of the other ones is in the extra spark lines tab, where we have all spark lines. We can select the number of years, and it's just organized in the same way that the portfolios tab sorted. So right now it is with the biggest gains at the top. And I like to just kind of scroll through here and see what's going on. And I see there's some crazy stuff going on in the market these days. A lot of companies are shooting way, way up in the last week, which is interesting because I think in general you're hearing a lot of more negative news in the stock market. Here you see ATD, same thing. I generally like looking at the 3-year chart in this screen because it does show like exactly where the pandemic was, and you can kind of get an idea of the before and how we were doing before the pandemic and where we are at now with some of these companies. But as we go down, we're going to get into the ones that were in the negatives or in the red for me. Here we had Great-West Life, so this was still green for me, but you can see here they've really just dropped off a little bit, and that's a dip if I've ever seen one, so I'm going to jump on that. As well, we have EIF tanking down a little bit here. If you draw a straight line across, we're back to somewhere over here at this point, which is a pretty cool price, or even way back there. Power Corporation dropping off a little bit, like I wanted to pick up those. Aecon really falling off, and that's okay, just writing that down. And Severia decreasing quite a bit over the last few months. So anyways, that's something that I always like doing in the spreadsheet as well, is just kind of cruising through, comparing all of my positions on the same time scale, and it really just gives me also some other ideas of which companies that I feel like buying. So we're going to buy the stocks now in Wealthsimple Trade, and I think I'll just get started with ATD first. This is the Toronto Stock Exchange one. Oh, these guys are climbing up in the day. Dang, should have bought them earlier. That's okay. I'm pretty much near the very end of the trading day today, which is Thursday. So anyways, I'm going to pick up 2 of these. It's going to be just shy of $100. Yeah, I know how market orders work. Don't show that again. And we're going to put that into the tax-free savings account. All right, cool. The next one that I wanted to pick up was Power Corporation, also on the Toronto Stock Exchange. Up a little bit in the past day, that's fine. And with these guys, I also wanted to pick up 2, so it'll be just under $80. I'm going to confirm that into the tax-free savings account as well. The next one was Severia. Just going to pick up a couple here. They're a bit cheaper, but I think I will take 4. So around $70 in total for these guys. I'm going to drop that in. And then the next one is EIF. We can look at all the charts and stuff here as well, but I'm pretty sure it's fine. I've just seen everything that we need to see in the spreadsheet dropping off like that. I'm going to pick up 2 of these as well for just under $80. And what else? I think there was Great-West Life. Yeah, Great-West Life, you can see here dropping off quite nicely in that last little bit. So we're going to take that, just 1 of those. So that'll be the cheapest order probably for the day. And confirm that. Okay, cool. And then the rest of the money that I have in the account, I'm just going to put into Aecon today. So it's on the Toronto Stock Exchange, not those guys. And whatever I have left, I'm just going to see how many we can get. So it looks like it'll be probably 4 shares today of Aecon, which will round out the last little bit of cash that I have ready to spend. So now what I do is I'm going to drop into the activity tab and take a look here at all of the shares that I just bought. And I actually have to sort this here for buys, not dividends. And I need to pop into each one and write down basically the exact quantity and unit price that I paid. And then I'm going to be bringing that into the spreadsheet. And that's all going to go into the transactions tab, which, like everything else, is a big master list of all the transactions that I've ever done. So as I drop these in, I'm just going to take care to make sure that I had exactly the same quantity and unit price that I saw in Wealthsimple Trade. And once I'm also confident that all of the totals add up, which is an indication that I haven't made any typos, then the last thing that I want to do is drop back into the summary tab and take a look to see what's going on in here. So the available cash has dropped down to whatever I had left in the portfolio. And most importantly, I'm looking here at the annual dividend income. And if you remember at the beginning of the video, this was around $2,802, and now we're around $2,818. So that's an increase of about $16 per year in totally passive income from dividends, which is awesome. Always super psyched to see that number increasing as I buy these high quality dividend stocks with a lot of growth potential themselves in their own stock price, but also having pretty nice yield of over 3.5% on average. And yeah, just cool to have my passive income constantly growing, because at some point in life, I'm reinvesting this now, but at some point in life, I will be planning to live off of it, at which point I'll actually probably trade some of my lower yielding stocks for higher yield stocks when I decide to live off the income. But for now, I'm pretty happy with these pretty strong dividend growth oriented value stocks. So guys, if you watched this far, thank you very much for watching. I'd love to hear how your investment journey is going on down in the comments. So please leave a message down there. I'll see you guys there and in the next video.